and welcome to the first stop on the IKA KiteFoil GoldCup series for 2016. The season opens on hang loose beach in Gizzeria, Italy, a venue that's fast becoming a favourite spot for the world's best racers. Many of them are returning to do battle once again following last year's exciting event.
It's my third time here, and yeah, it's always a pleasure to come back because it's a perfect place for foiling, and yeah, it's perfect.
I think it's a very nice place to be. I mean, it's warm, you have the water, and you have other also cool places.
The KiteFoil GoldCup is spread across 2 continents in 2016. From Gizzeria, the tour will head to Korea and to Borayong before Qatar in the Middle East. At each event there are 4 days of competition with over 60 races out on the water. Competitor numbers seem to be increasing year after year as the sport grows in popularity.
More and more riders arriving to this sport, and girls too. There are more girls this year, so I think it will be a bit hard to race, but still it will be more interesting because we have more riders involved and the level it is higher than last year. So I'm very happy to be here, and I hope I will visit next competitions of this tour.
"62 kite surfers from 24 countries were ready for the competition, and with the breeze around 20 knots on day 1, there were some sights with the world-class athletes jostling for position out on the water. Both Riccardo Andrea Lecchese and Axel Mazzella relished the conditions to end the opening day tied on points at the top of the leaderboard. They dominated their respective fleets. In the women's division, Jade O'Connor ended the day on pole position, but only just by a narrow 2 points.
Yeah, it was a really nice day actually. The weather conditions in the beginning were pretty difficult, but I'm kind of used to big breeze. I come from Ireland and we have a lot of wind in Ireland, so small kites and big wind and a bit of wave, it suits me. It would be hard to bank against Elena. She always, on the last day, she always seems to have that first position, so my money's on Elena.
Stormy weather and big waves faced the riders on day 2, with the leaderboard becoming ever tighter. The top 10 athletes were separated by 11 points after 2 days of racing. Riccardo Andrea Lecchese and Axel Mazzella stayed on top, whilst the 2015 world champion Maxime Notcher moved into 3rd. With just 3 girls in the silver fleet, they were all guaranteed a medal, but the colour needed to be decided during the following 2 days of racing. The KiteFoil GoldCup couldn't be any closer. It's hugely competitive, but at the same time, the athletes enjoy some downtime and soak up the locations.
The World Championship of the Kitefoil class is awarded through a tour, and this is the first stop of it, and the final will be in Qatar. So we're here in Gizzeria for the 6th time in a row, I think, and this time we had really different conditions. Big winds, big waves, so that made it a little bit difficult. But it's awesome racing, it's super tight, super fast and super exciting.
For the penultimate day of racing, the riders were separated into 3 fleets: gold, silver and bronze. The top of the scoreboard was starting to take shape, but there were many athletes hoping that with 2 days of racing remaining, that they could recover from a slow start.
I'm more like a rider who wants to keep clear. I want to ride my own race. I try to get away from the other riders, get my own speed, my own angle upwind, and then focus on myself, because if you follow someone, it's not that good. Maybe sometimes you slow down or you go in the wrong direction. So I try to keep my focus on my racing, and if I see some others are in front, I try to change it maybe on the water.
The weather brought some challenging wavy conditions on day 3, which was the first day of the final racing series. After 4 races, it was Axel Mazzella who took control of the men's fleet. Having locked horns all week with Riccardo Lecchese, it was Mazzella who took the lead on the scoreboard. Maxime Notcher kept up his consistency to remain 3rd. Florian Gruber overtook Oliver Bridge to sit in 4th, but there was still 13 points between him and a podium position.
I broke my kite before the start of the first race, so the first 2 races didn't go too well, but then in the afternoon I did a bit better and I won the last one.
The riders had enjoyed 3 windy days on Hang Loose Beach, so the last day was no exception. Battles were fierce and there was lots of ups and downs. Among the top performers on the final day was Florian Trittel, a rider with an extensive sailing background, and he proved that all knowledge is helpful in kite surfing.
I think it's awesome. I've been also racing in the sailing boats, and yeah, I've passed many classes, and I think the foiling in general is spectacular. Like also, for example, in the Moth, it's a boat which is foiling, and everybody who's racing in boats and then steps onto a Moth is like amazing. So the sensation of flying out there on the water is unbelievable, and then obviously you can do whatever you want, go fast, jump, and it's amazing.
Leader Axel Mazzella might not have had his best day out on the water, but he still managed to fend off all the challenges and claim the title in the men's fleet. Maxime Notcher continued his rise to end just a point behind in 2nd place. Great Britain's Oliver Bridge recovered from some poor results earlier in the week to take the final podium place.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy to win this event because it's very close. I'm very close with all the riders and my teammate Maxime Notcher, and because the wind is pretty shifty and pretty wavy, so it's pretty difficult to stay on the foil, and after yeah, the level is very high.
In the women's division, Elena Kalinina dominated against Alexa Fancelli and Jade O'Connor, who finally completed the top 3 places. Quite a confidence boost for the rest of the season.
We had a lot of races, and in each race we were fighting. Now I'm a little bit tired, but I'm happy. And I really like the conditions here because they were different and you can show your skills in different ways.
The winners received their €15,000 prize money, whilst all the athletes celebrated what was a successful start to the season. An enjoyable event for all, and they'll now look forward to the next event on the KiteFoil GoldCup Series.